So you might be thinking, why the hell should I watch some shitty players Dota 2 hero guide? Well, I don't fucking know, but if you want to learn how to play a hero over aggressively, then this is the place for you. Let me start with a short story explaining why Clockwerk is my top hero. In my early stages of Dota life, I played a match with a guy on my team sucking at Rattle Trap and calling it a useless hero. After we lost that game, I picked the hero myself and realized how much of a fucking moron that guy was. He probably still wonders why Bloodseeker isn't picked in pro play over Clock or something. Anyways, let me explain why this Tin Man is one badass motherfucker. I played this guy since he even had any cosmetics, so you know I'll be speaking the truth, yo. Let's start with his role. Clockwerk is a ganker that makes the enemy crap his pants. That's why he wears that metal helm, to keep the smell of opposing heroes' shit away. Once you get your hook, you better be going around ganking people and stacking up kills. I want you to have a restraint order at the end of the match because you hooked into Crystal Maiden one too many times. His skill set is made for pro ganking. Clockwerk's Q is called Barrier Assault and is the reason enemy supports wake up with their soiled undies in the middle of the night. You might think this is a shit spell if you look at the damage output. Oh, it's just 75 damage per tick, what harm could it— Shut the fuck up! Now if you haven't skipped school to go masturbate to drow porn, you'd know a bit of algebra and probably would have already played Clock to his full effect. Over the course of 10.5 seconds, 16 little shrapnel shards hit your opponent standing next to you. At level 4, the enemy can suffer up to 1200 points of damage, and if that doesn't make the enemy hero fear the sound in the early game, I don't know what will. And did I mention that it mini-stuns? Yeah, good luck with that death word, bitch doctor. Next up, we got the Power Cogs, aka the Molestation Box. This is how you get that one-on-one action going on with the opposing hero. At level 4, it closes you and your victim for 8 seconds, and if anyone tries to interrupt you two, they get zapped with a discharge that drains 200 of their life and mana. If your lovely catch tries to escape, it will need to hit your cogs 3 times. Clockwerk, on the other hand, needs to hit them only once, cause he knows how to hit them cogs. Rocket Flare is a nuke that annoys the fuck out of the entire enemy team. Not only can you push lanes with it cause it's global, you can also harass the enemy team before a team fight, so their blink daggers and other gay shit like that are on cooldown. Other than that, it's a nice thing to throw in once you got someone in your love nest. Now we get to the hook shot, the reason why you probably wanna play Clockwerk. The sound of the chain rattle is as scary as an enemy blink dagger or a pudge hook. Unlike pudge hook, it has an insane range and also brings you to the enemy, and not the other way around. Why would you want to travel to the enemy, you ask? Well, to blast them to bits with your Iron Man arsenal, of course. To add to the hookshot's awesomeness, it stuns your target as well and deals a reasonable amount of damage. Now, with all these gas skills, you're the alpha hunter of the enemy supports through most of the game. Heck, you can catch some of the hard carries in the early game while they are still useless babies that need babysitting. Of course, you have your natural enemies that are so gay that they have some sort of an escape that prevents you from keeping them in your love nest. These shitheads include Anti-Fun, Phantom Ass, Fuck, Nature's Pooper, and other assholes with blink and stuff. But other than them, you can take on pretty much anything, especially the sports. Other big thing that will wrestle your jimmies are the fucking creeps. Those assholes will either block your hookshots or eat up your barrier assault ticks, so you better clean them up with a flare or two. To be the best gank lord, you of course need some items. My most favorite item on Clockwerk, even before boots, is Bracer. Once that thing comes to me from the courier, I feel like I can take on whatever noob is in my lane. After that, I usually go for phase boots, and I can't imagine Clockwerk without them. Even if you're shitty enough to hook a creep, you can always phase through them and still cog your victim. The core item you should always try to build is Axe. That thing will not only boost your stats, but it will decrease your hookshot's cooldown to 12 seconds, which means you can spam that thing as much as your mana lets you. Now, if you are cool like me and get a ton of kills in the early game, you probably will want to build Clock as a carry. That's fine, you won't be able to compete with hard carries in the late game, but you can be a semi-carry. Now most people will go for Mew Mews and their head of tits, but what I'd suggest is the ass crack. Not only will it increase your survivability, it will help your team as well, which is important in a team game, even if all the Russians tell you otherwise. If you are not going carry, Shiva's Gaylord is a good choice too. More damage once you catch someone, more survivability. If things go sour and you see that you have to play more defensively, it's a good idea to build either Bitch Mail or Hood of Defecation, since once you isolate yourself with one of the enemy players, their friends will probably throw every possible nuke at you. Once you're fully loaded, you should be a great asset in the late game teamfights, stunning or isolating enemy supports so they don't bother your hard carries with their murder sprees. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and don't even think that I'm talking bullshit here, because this one time, more than half the players disconnected from the game and I won a 3 against 1 match while playing Clockwerk. It could have been another thing that the enemy players left were complete morons, but I like to think that I'm just that cool with this hero.